Well, hello there everyone, welcome to the YouTube video here on the channel. My name is Emily. Today we are here in Train Sim World 5. We are on West Coast Main Line South, the 2019 timetable, by the guys from On-Track Simulation. We are here on the D0, the Class 350. Forgot to enable the safety systems for that to fire off. It's up here. There we go. So like I say, the doors are released. No, they're not. So it's the doors on the right to allow boarding. And we can... Journey ID is... And we are going to be... for a driver number. Accept. There we go. We'll just check headlights on the front. So they've not come on. That's fun. Of course, headlights are down here. So we're going to turn our instrument lights on and our day headlights on, which then gives you the correct headlight configuration. Got 13 seconds till we're due away. However, I'm self-dispatching today because obviously there's no guard simulated within Train Sim World. The off indicator isn't lit, and until it basically becomes lit, we can't close the doors under UK rules of how you would dispatch a train. So I'm going to wait for the off indicator to illuminate, which you get an off sign there, which means the signal's been pulled off. And until that time, I'm not closing the doors. From a HUD perspective, you can't actually see what the signal is, but it definitely is not off yet. And I'm just going to run down here and just double check my own paranoia that there's it's not only one-sided, this off indicator, is it? It is one-sided! Wonderful! We've sat there a very long time, but we're cleared to go places, do things. So, we would basically have a head poked out the window, doors closed, everyone's nice and safe, reverser goes to forward, let's take power. Alright, next stop is Milton Keynes. So the guards now basically watching the train out in real life. I'm going to coast at 20 and I forgot to download the announcements fast, so I'm really quickly downloading that right now. Oh, there's no actual London Midland bonds. So the guard have been announcing something right now like, good evening everyone, welcome aboard this London North Western Railway service. To crew, our first stop will be Milton Keynes in around 35 minutes. A full ticket check will now commence, so please prepare all tickets, rail cards and passes for inspection. If you do see anything suspicious out of place, don't forget to check Spirit Transport Police on 61016, see it, say it, and we will get it sorted. And safety posters have been provided in the vestibules for your own safety. Please do give those a look to ensure, yeah, rah 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 rah. When everybody's going to hit the roller coaster here and go up to 40. Also should have hit that earlier. I always forget that it exists on this train, but it's not really simulated properly. So this is 350-2 as well, even though we've got a 351 numbering. And this is one of the trains that comes with the timetable from the guys at OTS. So I'm going to quickly get the timetable up, actually, the page on the website up just for features, information, all that kind of good stuff. And we are green, green, green. So let's pick it back up to 45. Yeah, we are 50 clearing that tunnel. So we'll just stay at 50 in twaddle, please. Thank you. As we pass Camden carriage sidings on the right there, and that's the Camden Roundhouse. So, service features. So, the timetable comes fully loaded with 1,500 playable services and a wide range of AI-only services along the way at various points along the route. London North Western Railway has 207 services. Virgin Trains 177 services. Southern 46 services. London Underground on the Bakerloo line with 761 services. London Overground 177 services. The East Anglian Rail Tour has 2 drivable services. The new Measurement train has 4 drivable services. There are 6 drivable RHTT services, 38 intermodal services, and 14 aggregate services. Future plans include replacing the default intermodal wagons with those from Cargo Line Volume 3 when Volume 3 is released, adding in-services using the Class 66-1 and DRS variants from the Engineering Express pack, lengthening intermodal trains to a more realistic length, if possible due to an issue with starting trains at Primrose Hill. Sorry, I'm trying to read here and I should really be driving. This is the one part of the journey you really need to drive for. Thank you. 55, clearing the second tunnel, so we are picking up here. So this is social housing on the left. And basically my notes read, on the back of fancy council houses, 80. So these houses here, it looks like the back of a stadium or something. It's basically just this crazy... Can you see it from this side? There you go. Very futuristic for the 1960s, just interesting now. There we go. So, pick it up to 80. That is a reminder of the 80. We are at 80. Like I say, this area of London, I do spend quite a bit of time in. Well, not this far across, but I will quite regularly, if I've got time in London, go to Camden Market and get a little treat in the form of a humble crumble. I like humble crumble. And back up to full power up to 85. So basically the protocol today is we drive up to 85, we drop back in power, and then we've got like one or two to get back up to that speed. That is basically the protocol for driving. And we just rinse and repeat that all day. So you see the speed's washing up now that we're in idle. And let it get to about 80, just above 80, then notch 1 or 2. Pick it back up again. Our next speed increase is passing Euston Depot, where we go up to 90. So notch 2 now. Picking the speed back up. Exiting this tunnel, we'll see Euston Depot on the right hand side. So these 150s of course, these 350s of course, sorry, I don't know why I called it 150 there, this 350 is one of the ones that's capable for 410 miles an hour, so is the one behind me. As such, we will be able to go up to 110 today, and it's noticeably quicker. There's 90. Might as well just go full power now up to 90. Feels like the train is just a lot shaky, doesn't it? Like when you go into full power. 90. We're just in step 1, just to sustain us there now. And it's going to be 110 limit coming up momentarily. That's still 90. That's Wilson Eurofreight Terminal on the left hand side. That's where a lot of the spoils now go from the or come out I should say from Crossrail. Oh, sorry, from Crossrail from HS2. When that finishes, we're going to have a lot of wagons going for scrap, I think. Just don't have like rail freight stuff that goes and is associated with it. Same for the construction sector. You can see, of course, the sun is setting. I did forget to mention, by the way, we are driving train 1 Uniform 49, the 1946 London Euston to Crewe service, with our first stop being Milton Keynes Central. Over on the right there, that's Wilson Brent sidings. Behind that, that is the PRDC, Princess Road Delivery Centre, which is 325s used to go from there. All sorts of trains used to go from there. They no longer do because, of course, Royal Mail decided to cut costs and get out the game. There is the Wembley Football Stadium, for which the Lioness line is named. Some HOA wagons dumped in Wembley, along with some 66s and some J&As. And we are 110, so we're still accelerating. And you can see over there in the passenger depot, got 378s, got 390s, got all sorts. Can you see inside the depot? You cannot see inside the depot. And over at Stonebridge Park, you've got a... That was the... you've got a 1978 stock dumped over there. And that, what was firing off there was the DSD, the DVD, the driver vigilance device. Current aspirations are to include the following: addition of other reskins such as Class 390 Flowing Silk Pride and the 350 variations, additions of the Caledonian Sleeper services, addition of more rail tour services. So this is stuff that's ambition but not currently planned. We'll go back to notch 1, notch off, sorry. 378 there on the left, 1976 stock. A fully detailed manual is included with the download. We recommend you give this a read of all details and services and requirements for applying the timetable to ensure it works as intended. Credits from untraining the OTS team. You've got John, the mastermind behind the project, Chief Jack, an infinite amount of advice, help and bug fixing. Apologies for that siren. Bug fixing, manual creation and promo material. Thomas Harrison, assisting in manual creation, Timetable testing and streaming. Others include Charlie for the creation of Class 350 and Class 390 reskins. Manza for creation of Class 390 reskins, power back on. Bell, assistance with the Class 350 and Class 390 reskins. Beskett, allowing us to use the GBRF Class 66 and assistance with reskin plugins. Leica, allowing us to use the Fet 66s. Loving that you can hear the tube stock with the... Hang on, let's open the window. Forks, assistance help in bug fixing. DTG, assistance with bug fixing. Credit to all the testers. So yeah, thanks to all the testers. So there was an update release which added 2 additional LMT services and all 2XX services bug fix. So yeah, there's basically some bug fixing, but the requirements are the Class 390 for Torrington Well 5, the Cargline Volume 2, East Coast Main Line London to Peterborough, East Coast Road Brighton to Eastbourne and Seaford, London Overground Malvern Main Line Stratford and Willesden, Stratford Wilson Junction, London Overground Suffragette Line Gospel Oak Barking Riverside, Gospel Oak to Barking Riverside. The RHTT pack for Trenton World 5. West Coast Main Line South, Milton Keynes to Euston for Trenton World 5. The West Coast Main Line South, London, Euston to Milton Keynes and Hampton pack. And West Coast Main Line Preston to Carlisle. And power off, we're speeding up slightly there, I apologise. But yeah, there is a lot in it. It is very good. It feels very different. It's like I say, the 350-2 is one of the modified trains to be included in it. Is there a way to stay on the manual? I don't think there is there? No, there's not. That's a shame. So we've got that up yet. Everything's still working, recording. Our next major landmark we'll pass to go flying through will be Watford. Watford Junction. I do need to drink, my apologies. But yes, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Mine's a bit mixed, I'll be totally honest. So for me it is, I'm not sure when it's going to go out, but it is day 8 since the Supreme Court decision basically on what legally defines a woman in UK law. And I'll be honest, I'm starting to struggle with it. I very much do hope, believe, and aim that I've seen off a lot of this hate before and I will see it off again. However, it's just hard. And you know, I'm normally a very hopeful person, but I'm struggling with losing some of that hope at the moment and trying to get my way through. So yeah, I'm going to actually have to look up the 350 on Wiki and see what makes the 352 different. Class 350 Wiki. 390 southbound, so crossing along with a lot of white 390s. That is the nature of the beast. So the Class 352s differ from the 351 units in two key aspects. Having 3+2 seating in standard class, because they work short hop commuter services, the Class 351 used for long distance services are 2-2 throughout, and they lack the dual voltage capability of the 351. Initial Class 352 units had a maximum speed of 100, but the fleet was allowed to upgrade 110 running during 2018. This was to allow operators to run mixed 351 and 352 services without causing delays. Especially important given the capacity changes with HS2 works at London Euston, which HS2 works at Euston were expected to cause. Oh, those sweet summer children thinking 10 miles an hour would make all the difference in a delay. So it's a 351 on the front and a one on the back, even though I selected the 352. We'll check the interiors out, see if there's a difference. We'll have to wait until Milton Keynes for that. Here's Watford, of course. 378 waiting to go southbound there. And they're in DC mode, so their pans aren't up, which is correct. As we go blasting down the middle at Euston, at Watford even. And I feel like I'm speeding. No, I'm not. That was a good call from me to check. We're just going to shut off again. And at this speed, roll back. So yeah, maximum speed 110, 350-1. So between 2013 and 2014, a further 20 units were manufactured for LM and TPE. Each took on 10 units, the former designated Class 350-3s, and the latter 350-4s. So the 350s are nearly identical to 450s, the later only fit with traction equipment for southern region, whilst the 351s can operate obviously dual voltage, or alternatively via third rail. So via OLE or third rail. Yeah, the GSMR's bugged. Which is just common to train sim world at the moment, which is a shame, I feel. So we are at 110. Basically, we now stay at 110 until latent buzzard. And we go through latent buzzard at 90. And after that we can pick back up to 110. It is a pretty good run, this. I really enjoy it. It is, obviously, you're just blasting up the west coast. But I personally prefer that to stoppers. Like, this is my sort of ideal length of fast run. Like this, you know, if this was, say, done to rugby, where you sort of go up to speed, you sit at speed for a bit, and, you know, for like the first half hour, like we are today, you then drop back down, you stop at Milton Keynes, and then you do a bunch of stops, and then you're back on your way again. Like, that would work really well for me as a route concept. And that's why, you know, a lot of the German stuff seems to run that way, where you get... Oop. Let's just go into off. Thank you. That's interesting. So, I'm looking at the Wikipedia here. And apparently some were built in Vienna, some were built in Uerdingen in Germany, and some were built at Prague's Lichim, the TCO and the PTSO for the 352. I'd love to know where that was actually done. I didn't realise there was a so they call so in Czech, it would be a vagonka, so a basically wagon manufacturing facility. It's quite cool the way they sort of named things in communist times. And a lot of that continues to the present day. So basically, like I say, for example, a train wagon manufacturing place or a coach manufacturing place. It's the same word in Czech, wagon. I'll let you guess what language that comes from. It basically was a vagonka and then the location. So vagonka, Česká Lípa is the guys who built what we call the IZA wagons, the Daventry Water train. Stuff like that's quite interesting, I find. So we are just blasting back up to speed, going to get 110 in the box. and then just coast back down again. That doesn't affect us. That's a 60 for a crossover. We're not crossing over, as you can see. But that was the AWS firing off. You've got a lot of sort of LNWR mixed liveries here. So of course, the LNWR livery, I believe that came with the original route. The 350 reskin here on the back being the XLM LNWR livery, or LNR livery as it should be probably referred to as. Mind you, that is the 2.2 configuration for the 351, so that's accurate. So I apologise, it isn't a 350 actually, it's a 351. At all. Well, at least the one on the back is, so it should be the one on the front. But it is interesting, like I say, just to learn this and to drive around. There's a 710 on test. And I want to shut off again. I'm going a bit quick, but shush, nothing. You saw nothing. So the 710s, of course, were being tested in this period of time, so they made it as far north as Crewe when they were being tested, I think. I forget, yeah, the event has been up there. Definitely, I've seen some of the C2C ones, I think, on test up that far north. So you can see the VCB light flashed there. That was just going through a neutral section. I can take power again, go back up to 110 if I so choose, which I will. So I've got an loop balloon stuck in my head. It's, yeah. I keep going into too much brake. I apologise. I love when you see a train come around a curve like that with a super elevation on. Oh, makes me happy, man. Come over a blind bend here. Have some fun with the horns as well. You can do something like a... Hang on, try that again. Fuck! Da, 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 da. There we go, third time's a charm. Well... Basically, like, you get all sorts of fun horns. That Jabs have come up with through the airs. Darth Vader's just one of the famous ones. It's just power on, power off, power on, power off all day. Because I've been running train sim well for the last sort of 2-ish hours, yeah, well, hour and a quarter, my computer's now running very hot. And I'm obviously recording it as well. So I am sitting here getting rather warm right now. Let's see if I can turn the audio filtering back on so I can actually use my... Nope, I can't use the audio filtering, therefore I am going to just be sitting here struggling all day. Another 350 coming southbound. To be honest with you, I will never say this publicly, and I'm happy saying this 25 minutes into a video because no one's going to watch this far. East Coast Mainline's pretty cool, but the West Coast is more fun to drive on, I think. The East Coast, I find the stations more interesting. But sort of the gaps between, you get a very boring patch between pretty much Peterborough and York. Whereas the West Coast is all like this, in sort of cuttings, in out of cuttings, changing scenery, weaving left and right. It's far more interesting to look at. This is insane, the bouncing side to side. I'd love to get like things like a Black 5 on here, you know. It's a shame they didn't do a version with AWS. I wonder if the Christmas Lights version has AWS fitted. I'm not sure, I'd have to double check that. But something like that would be good. You can get Pendo coming south. Bombing it along ears, absolutely. Green, green. Just watching that dial there tick up and down. That was me on the buzzer there because I hit the wrong key. He should have waved, which is a shame. But, you know, stuff like that you can live without. Actually, turns out having my fan on the lowest setting, you can't hear that, according to the bars of microphonism. So we're just going to enjoy the blast along here. Hopefully, like I say, hopefully I'm not too loud, not too quiet. Hopefully the game audio is in the right place. I do often get feedback about that, and that's why I tried tweaking it very recently. And that fan is making a load of difference. So even if you guys can hear it, sorry. The driver needs to be kept cool, thanks. Like I say, we've got the windows open. So let's have a look at cab tour, I suppose. 408 lights. The actual speakers for the alarms, I suppose. Pass alarms and stuff. Wonder what this panel hides. Door release on the left, door close on the left. Door open close, signal buzzers, throttle. Master key reverse, wiper controls, windscreen washer controls, windscreen heater. You can turn that on if you want. I don't think it makes any difference. DSD on off. DRA basically kills the power, so I'm not going to hit that and show you what that bit lights up and it looks all pretty. Overtaking a 350 we are. Obviously speedometer. You get the extra yellow bit there to show you that you can go up to 110 on this unit. We overtake the LNWR 350 on our left there. So you can see that's another variation of the LNWR livery. I think actually this is a custom one to this pack. I think that's one that came originally. I can't actually remember. I don't drive the 350 enough to remember this kind of stuff. Anyway, we are powers on, so we've got this view. This basically shows you what your traction motors are doing. So on a class 350, the basically the two driving vehicles, 1, 2, power. The rest don't. They are just basically trailer coaches. So they have air brakes, but if you go through neutral section, this will tell you that you've basically killed your power off. So I'm just going to, I want to coast, you know what, power back on, why not? So we are coming up on late and buzzard. We've got a bit of a slow start, so I'm just going to push a little bit to catch that up. And I'm done accelerating. And put about half brake on. Coming off this curve, we should see late and buzzard. I'm braking very early actually, power off. Well, I'm at 95, I can coast from here. Okay, this is very embarrassing. I was expecting late and buzzard to be about here. I'm not going to lie. Can you tell I'm new? There you go, there's late and buzzard. There's the nightly warning for other tracks. We don't get that warning ourselves. Not too sure why. Or we don't get a ramp for it, I should say. So just check, speed check. We are at 90, perfect. Beep, beep, beep the horn. Beep, beep the horn. And there's our 90 post. So this restricts us down to 90 for a while. You can see how much it slows you down, like how much slower. We've lost 20 miles an hour of line speed. It feels like you're barely moving. And then, yeah, you get the southbound trains coming through there. We have our own tunnel bore here at Leighton Buzzard. So we should pass the 110 post soon. So 110 And there's our 110, so I'll power off. 1000, 2, 1000, and full power. Let's go! Get back up to 110 on before we can get there. Back on the power up to 110 we go. And this is Bletchley. I recognise the station immediately. See here, Southern 3772. This was in the days when they used to go to Milton Keynes. That is modelled. And down the back there you've got Bletchley carriage sidings with all the 350s in there put to bed for the night. You can see the sort of 350 variations already modelled here. So you've got the XLM LNW, XLM LNW, RNW1, RNW2. So you've got, you know, a little bit then by variations which I really like. Double amber, single amber next. So we want to press single amber no faster than 60. Bear in mind this is obviously the red here will be at the end, most likely, sorry, be at the end of Milton Keynes Central. So I'm just going to put the brake on now. I feel like the brake does jump on quite sharply. You can see the dynamics kicking in, and it is a very fast brake on this. I can see a single amber coming up, so I'm going to put a bit of brake on now. For some reason some of the front doors spawn open on the 350s. I'm not sure why that is, but that's just the nature of the beast really. And you can see there's Milton Keynes Central. So I'm off on the power, off on the braking, sorry. You can see the blue dot is basically the platform, so yeah, we're cleared in now. Now it'll be 14 over the magnet. The magnet's about halfway down the platform here at Milton Keynes. So 14 is the professional driving standard of most TOCs. I'm not actually sure what it is for Northwestern. We'll just keep it half brake on. Slowing down in a vaguely comfortable fashion. And we can brake off. Just get to 15. Because remember we're braking for the signal, not the platform. The stop markers here are at the end of the platform, so we'll be sitting quite close to signal. You hit the paddle at the same time as you hit the AWS here, which is why that clunk happens. Welcome to Train Sim World! You get the window seat there on the BA advertising, which I think is a fairly current advertising campaign, I'm not 100% sure. For BA. So we are stopping right against the end of the platform here. We'll say that we're being relieved here because of training requirements, whatever bollocks that we need to come up with. We stopped a little short there, but it's fine. So I'm going to put the into full service with the doors on the right. Reverser goes to neutral. That is basically, well, to be honest, I should probably just go. There you go, key off on the cab. And the next driver's getting on, and they're taking... Oh, shoot. That's interesting, it does that. Probably doing key up on the cab, then. Key on the cab. There we go. And that is us done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoyed that drive. Hopefully you guys did too. I'll link to the OTS West Coast Main Line South timetable in the description down below. Until then, guys. Until next time, guys. Bye for now.